Hey everyone, everybody's asking us what it's like to live, work, play, and retire, especially here in Palm Coast, Florida, and in particular here in Florida. And we're going to talk about the 5 reasons why people love to move here and relocate here. And we're going to talk about one of the reasons why people might not like it here. And we're going to go over all that up next. Hey everyone, welcome to the Living in Palm Coast Real Estate channel. I'm Bill Bishop and I'm with the Living in Palm Coast Real Estate team. And if this is your first time to our channel, hit the little subscribe button, hit that notifications bell, and you'll get notified every time we have a new video. And to be honest, we get calls and text messages and emails about what it's like to live, work, and play and retire here in this Northeast Florida area and Palm Coast, and we absolutely love it. So shoot us a call, send us an email, hit us up with any other information that you might want to have regarding us is in the description box. And that being said, we're going to get off to the 5 reasons why people are retiring here in Florida. And I got a few of these from Kiplinger's newsletter, and I wanted to go over the first one is, well, everybody knows this one. The first one is no state income tax. So what I thought would be kind of interesting would be to show you what the state income tax is. This is the top rates for some of the individuals around the country, and I'm going to pull up a map here. So, well, as you can see from the map, for example, the state that I came from, which is Minnesota here, has a top rate of almost 10%. New York, which we're getting a lot of people coming down from New York, that seems to be a pretty high tax rate state as well. So that's definitely one of the reasons that people are retiring here and really moving here in general. We see also a lot of businesses relocating down here, small businesses to medium-sized businesses relocating down to Florida because of the tax rates and that type of situation. The second thing I'd like to touch on would be that there's no tax on retirement. So there's 37 states that don't have any taxes on your like your 401k, your Social Security, things like that. I don't know what the tax rates are. I'm not a financial analyst by any means, but I do know that Florida is one of the states that doesn't tax your retirement. Now, you know, if you do live in one of those states, I'm sure you feel it a little bit, that whatever state you live in that actually is not one of those 37 states is actually taxing your retirement savings as you pull it out, obviously. But that's something to be aware of, and that's something that people are moving away from those types of things. So that is the tax on investment income, I guess you could call it. Okay, the third thing I want to touch on is the cost of living. Now, the cost of living in Florida is a little below, or actually it's kind of in the middle as far as the national average. Now, in Palm Coast, was able to pull up a little a chart or kind of a calculator, and it's from salary.com. So I wanted to show you that real quick, just to show you what the cost of living is here in the Palm Coast area. But in general, the cost of living in Florida is about average as far as the country goes. But let me show you a real quick chart on Palm Coast, and Palm Coast is actually this is according to salary.com now. So, you know, all these charts, and they kind of have they sway one way or the other, but There is, I think, some truth to that, because me being someone who came from kind of a high tax state, high cost state, which was Minnesota, and moved down here about 3 or 4 years ago, and I do find it a little less expensive to live here. And just to show you this cost of living chart here that I pulled up, and it shows that cost of living in Palm Coast is 7.6 lower than the national average. And I know it's somewhat lower than, and you can see cost of living in some of these other major cities. This is some of the things, and this is from salary.com, but just to show you, I just wanted to show you even something down here, which was, New York, which is got, 88% higher rate of cost in living in New York than it does here in Palm Coast. So it's kind of an interesting thing. I mean, it kind of makes sense, because we're getting a lot of reach outs from people from New York and those eastern states, and I think a lot of the people that tend to come to the Palm Coast area tend to be people from the East Coast. I've always noticed, and I've kind of studied demographics a little bit, is that I always found that people who come from the Midwest typically go, when they retire or they decide to make Florida their home, their retirement home, they tend to gravitate towards like the Villages, which is in Central Florida, or they go over into the Naples and Fort Myers area. At least that's where the Minnesotans went, and it seems like people from Chicago and the Midwestern states tend to gravitate towards the Gulf side and the Central Florida. And then if you're not interested in living either in the Gulf side or the Atlantic side of Florida, people tend to go to the Villages, which is 150,000 retired people all in one location just north of Orlando, and all of them have golf carts, and it is like golf cart heaven there. But that's for the people that do like the coastal regions, which seem to be like the East Coast people that like being close to the Atlantic Ocean. They still like being close to the Atlantic Ocean when they decide to retire and make Florida their retirement home. That's just a little thought, a little observation from working with a lot of people, that are making the move down here. The fourth thing that was mentioned in this Kiplinger article, which I thought was interesting, was just the tax exemptions. Tax exemptions are basically the money you get to take off the assessed value of your home so that you show a lower taxable value, and there's pretty generous exemptions. Property taxes, and I just wanted to touch on this since we're talking about property taxes. In Palm Coast, and I did a kind of a real informal look today and I tried to look at a few homes that were selling in the 300,000 range, and then the 400,000 and the 500,000 range. And what I saw was kind of interesting, and I just wanted to show you a little bit of that on the screen real quick. But I went into our local MLS here, and these are some of the active listings, but I just want to pull up, so we've got a property here for 400,000. And if you look here, well, that one doesn't have the property tax record, so that wasn't a good one. Let's do one right over here. This one is $325,000. So this is a $325,000 home in Palm Coast, and I wanted to show you what the tax figures were for this. So for a $325,000 home, the taxes for that home are right around $3,250. Now, these vary, and they have, it depends on obviously what the properties are assessed at, but $3,000 for 32 or a $325,000 home. So it's about $300 a month for taxes. So this particular house here that I just pulled up, just kind of at random, showed that the tax bill was about $3,500. So that's about $400 a month. You know, it just depends on what area of town you're in, obviously, and what the assessed value is, but that would give you a kind of a range in that level of what you're going to be paying in taxes. So that that's a little bit about the property taxes, and kind of goes into the cost of living as well. So just keep that in mind. And then the fifth thing of things people love about moving here. So this is that was the fourth thing we talked a little bit about, some of the costs, and we talked a little bit about the no taxes on your income tax, and no taxes on your retirement account, your 401ks, your Social Security, those types of things. And the fifth thing is kind of real obvious one, the weather. Now, someone who came from Minnesota and who had really gotten tired of those brutal winters, and it seemed to start affecting me as I got a little older, and just put my time in up in Minnesota and decided to get the hell out of there, and had the opportunity to move here in Palm Coast, Florida, and never looked back. Really never looked back. Anyway, so a big, no kidding, Bill, the weather. Yeah, the weather is a big part of why people are moving down here. That's why people love it here. I can go out on my porch on a December and have a cup of coffee and look at the birds in the trees. So that's a great thing down here, and obviously that's something we love. Now, though, the thing that and I talk about, these are the 5 things why people love to move to Florida, and the one thing that people are realizing, that the insurance costs are going up on these properties, and there's been a lot of insurance losses in the industry. I think that has a lot to do with it. Also, the flood insurance program, the federal flood insurance program, is going through some gyrations, and they're figuring out different. They're going to raise rates, is basically what's happening. And but there's some things you can do, especially in building a new home, like putting hurricane glass up, that can lower your rates. And there's some other things that you can do even to existing homes that will help lower your rates. But that's one of the things, especially if you're living on a coastal property, that the insurance rates are going to be a little higher, and they tend to be creeping up here in Florida. And I think it goes back to the insurance companies. When they get losses, they have to make up for those losses, and basically that means that rates are going to increase. So I think with the last few hurricanes, they must have sustained some pretty heavy losses, or some significant enough losses to justify a rate increase. But anyway, that's one of the things that people are running into that they don't like about moving here to Florida. And then I want to talk about a little bit more, even specifically, about moving here to Palm Coast. Palm Coast is really kind of a hidden gem right now. It went through a really heyday in 2006 and 2007 when it was a really hot area here, and now people are rediscovering Palm Coast area. So that's the 5 things people love about Florida, and the one thing that they don't like about Florida. Well, anyway, thanks a lot for tuning in today to the Living in Palm Coast channel. Again, I'm Bill Bishop with the Living in Palm Coast real estate team, and we hear from people all the time, and we absolutely love it. So shoot us a call, send us an email. All of our email information and contact information is in the description box below. And hit that subscribe button, that notification bell as well, and you'll get You get notified of any upcoming videos. We're trying to do videos about every aspect of Palm Coast in this area. So if you're thinking about moving and relocating here to the Palm Coast area, again, give us a call and shoot us a text. And we love to hear from you guys who are thinking about moving down here. Anyway, until next time, I'm going to say my goodbyes and bye-bye.